Okay, CFTA, we are starting back up. The last round of really open mic night. We're going to go in order. Cole, you ready?
Yeah.
Everyone, big round of applause for Cole.
Yeah. There we go. So, I'm pretty out of it at the moment. I don't know if I've made that clear. So, I'm going to go back to what I was doing when I got here, of reading what I thought would be fucking awesome jokes under the influence that turned out to not be very good. Hold on, I just gotta. My fault. Did I already lose it? That's rough. It's blowing it.
Oh, you're chilling.
Damn. That's for alright. Never mind. So, alright, one of them was just like, I think it's one of the greatest plays that men have ever made in all of history was the romanticizing of Sex by the Fire, because we all know what happens when it gets cold, right? Especially white folk that's embarrassing. We can't live that out. So what we do, we lay out that rug, we light that fireplace, we get it going. Alright, I really wasn't ready for this, but I do love being here. So let's get Taylor back on the stage if he's down. Taylor Powell, everyone. Yeah.
Alright, so yeah, I gained some weight during COVID. I gotta start watching what I eat. They say you are what you eat. Do you think cannibals are people who take things too literally? And then, so I was thinking about cannibals a lot recently, and I was like, what would it take to, I wanted to trick my friends into saying they would eat a person. So I asked them, would you eat a person? And I expected not to convince them, but they said, yeah, no problem. We're hiking and, we're stranded. I'll eat you for sure. So we don't go hiking anymore. But I wanted to drill down and find out what the problem was. Like, why wouldn't you eat a person? Like, if it was on the menu, you're curious, why not try it? And so I asked them, and my friend said, well, people are too intelligent. It would be morally wrong. And I was like, well, he's like, what, dolphins are so smart, they have these dolphin cities, and those don't exist, so. And then I got me kind of thinking, well, if intelligence is the issue, he could just eat himself. The other thing was, my other friend said, well, he didn't have, the objection against intelligence, but he said, yeah, it's a moral issue, you can't just eat someone and take away their life, and, they have so much life left to live. And I was like, well, what about the assholes out there? The figurative ones. You could eat the literal assholes too, but that's probably not the best part. You're wasting a lot of humans if you're just eating the buttholes there. And to try to drill down further, I was like, what if there's a menu? It had a parrot, you can talk. You had a talking pig and a talking dog. They're all on the menu. And I asked my friends, would you eat those? Oh yeah, no problem. They're animals. And I was like, well, they're as intelligent as, this is a hypothetical situation, but they're as intelligent as you or I, and they are, they're on the menu, yes, but they're saying, don't eat me. No, they still eat them. So, I got myself a parrot, and actually I can't hang with my friends again, I just bring a parrot, because I know I'll eat that guy, so. Anyways, that's all I got about cannibalism. I guess I could throw it out to you guys, though, would you guys ever eat a person? What are your objections to it?
They're stringy.
No stringy. Yep.
Maybe with a plane crash.
Alright, I got some stuff to think about, but thanks, guys.
Taylor Powell, everyone. Or Tay.
Yeah, I'm changing it. Stage name?
Tay. It makes sense. There's two syllables there.
I like
Just go with the first one.
overall overall 3-syllable name. I like odd numbers for that. So
It'll be Tay from now
Tay
on.
Powell, yeah.
Oh, Tay. Okay. Who else do we have up? Okay, so we're learning as we go along. I just came up with a great idea for next time to stretch you guys. We'll do a little like a podcast maybe next week.
Sure.
Right, where you do your set. If you come before 8 o'clock, you can do a rehearsal set. Just practice and wing stuff. And then after your set, for the last leg, we'll just invite you and Jake and I.
Have a conversation.
We'll just have a conversation.
Yeah.
How does that go?
Yeah.
Hunter, good? You guys are just like, you see the thick cloud. What is he saying? His lips are moving. Okay. We have. Is Mitch? No, Mitch took off.
Yeah.
Mike, and your chicken scratch. Dirk, I keep on. Mike.
Is that the right order?
Yeah, Mitch is gone. There's Mike.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, wow.
Durbecker. Durbecker.
You don't have to.
Yeah, we love it. You don't have to, but you have to.
Okay, well, in that case. Okay.
I'm not making you, you just obligated. Mike, everyone! Thank you, Mike.
Anybody know about karma? Like outside of a t-shirt that says, don't get revenge, wait for karma to take care of it for you. I do not know about karma. That's about as deep as I get. I have a special fondness for the idea of karma, however, that eventually if you do something terrible will happen to you. I like that idea. And that is leading into how I got a serious human resources complaint about being potentially violent to a coworker. Okay, first, no suspense. I didn't do it. But this is what happened. I've got 2 kids. I have a 19-year-old and a 9-year-old right now. When the 19-year-old was newly born, I was once again working for a very boring, very well-paying bank. I was on a contract. Now, I'm sleep deprived, and I'm overworked, and I'm completely overwhelmed with the idea that I am now a father, and I'm determined not to try to take any time off, because firstly, it will make me look bad, and secondly, the odds are they won't pay me for it. So I'm at this bank, and 1 or 2 people have come by and said, "Hi, has HR talked to you yet? Because, well, no, there's someone we work with, and she said she knew you from university, and you are really bad news." What? I have no idea what she's talking about. I have never done anything to anybody in university or ever. But I'm sleep deprived, and I'm trying to figure out how this could possibly happen. Maybe I pissed someone off a long time ago, and they're making up stories about me. And there's only one person that could possibly be, and it was an old girlfriend. Her name was Catherine, and if she liked you, you could call her Kitty. She was Irish. She was born in Ulster, and she had this really beautiful, thick Irish accent. And she was not political whatsoever. Irish Catholics, Protestants been shooting each other for decades. She had nothing to do with that. Her dad now actually was a policeman, and he was on the Protestant side, and he had tattoos up and down his arm of King William of Orange. So this might tell you what kind of guy he was. But she wasn't political. We never talked about it. She was just kind of a nice person. I'm thinking about her at the bank because I pissed her off. Because at one point she asked me if I would videotape one of her dad's presentations. It was called the Orange Lodge. Anybody remember this? If you don't know the politics, essentially the Orange Lodge were Protestants, and they would run around saying things like a rope to kill the Pope, and they would cause fires and stuff like that. And I want nothing to do with this whatsoever. But I like Kitty. I want to piss her off. So I found someone else to film it. And I said I'd pay for it, and I would take care of this entirely. And I told Kitty this. And remember I said she wasn't political? Not till just then. Because she said, and I can't do the accent, but I'll do my best. She said, "So you're telling me, Michael, I mean, you've not been born in Ireland. You who have never lived in Ireland are explaining to me that you are too good to do a favor for my father, for me. I don't want you to do this for me, Michael. I want to spit on my skin where you've touched me." For around 10 seconds, I wanted to say, "Oh, come on! You can't bend backwards that far." I figured that would not de-escalate the situation. This is 15 years before I'm working for a bank, but she's the only person I could think of who I would have pissed off enough to maybe lie about me, to get me in trouble with HR, and I'm tired, and I'm sleep deprived, and I'm paranoid. And eventually I go to HR myself and I say, I want an end to this. Someone has said that I am potentially threatening. I don't know what's happening, but I want this to be identified and I want this to be over with. And the HR employee looked really surprised to see me. And she said, oh, okay, well, I'll tell you what. Come downstairs with me and I'll buy you coffee and we'll talk about it. And she walks me through this floor full of people, and she's walking around saying, oh, hi Rachel, how you doing today? Hey Steve, we got a meeting at 2. Hey Carla, you good? Okay, thank you. She gets me to the elevators and then says, you have to come back to my office. Okay. And I do that, and she says, I walked you past the woman who's complaining about you, and she didn't even notice you. And then it gets kind of simple. I mean, then I had to sign a document saying I have no idea what's going on and I am innocent of whatever they accused me of, etc., etc. Once I signed that, they took me back to Carla's desk. Carla looks like a very nice person. She's definitely not Irish. I believe she's Korean. And I'm introduced. And the HR person said, this is Mike Durbecker. And the woman goes, hi, how are you? And she looks at me. And I show her my ID, and she looks at me, and she laughs. And then she looks horrified. The short way to explain what happened is that Michael Durbecker is a weird name. Mike Brubaker is kind of a simpler name. And there was a guy named Mike Brubaker who did something unidentified but terrible to her when she was at university. And she saw my name on a board someplace and thought that I was that guy. So this is why I want to talk about karma, because I don't know how it works, but if there's any justice in the universe, Mike Brubaker is going to wake up in an alley with his teeth in a small pile and try to pick him up with broken fingers. I really hope that happened to him. Thanks very much. Good night.
Michael, everyone. Nice. Okay. Yeah, that reminds me. He said police officer, and then all these memories came back. Jake, you up next? Yes, you are. Okay. Jake, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks everyone again. I'm not going to be up here for very long. I just want to say a couple more words. It looks like this is kind of turning into a different kind of vibe, which I'm really enjoying. It's like Saturdays are really open, so we've got a bunch of different kinds of talents going on, and that's great. And the fact that we can go out more than once is great, and it kind of turns into kind of like a workshop of sorts, and that's working well. And I'm open to other suggestions. Dexter had a good one where we could maybe have like a conversations on stage, but there's been a couple of other things that I've seen. Tell me what you think. There was this one event where you basically get on stage, grab the microphone, and behind you, we're going to have a screen here, behind you, a PowerPoint presentation comes up that you've never seen. And then you just have to go through and just describe it, have some fun with it. I think that'd be a great exercise.
Yeah.
Try something like that, right? Yeah, okay. And another one, of course, is pretty obvious. We could just have like a hat with some single words or sentences that we can all write in, and then we just grab one and see what we get and just talk about it. It's kind of like improvisation, but you're always going to have something to say about something. So open to other suggestions as well. I just want to put that out there. I think that's it for me for tonight. Why don't I just get the next person out here? Cody Stevers. Stevens or Stevers?
He's gone.
He's gone, right. So Evans is up again on the Pinto. Yeah.
Okay. I just thought of a joke. This could be a little racial, so I apologize in advance. Yeah. Did you guys know that Tasmanian devils actually have a very high inbreeding problem? So much so that all the Tasmanian devils in the entire world almost have the same DNA, which is why cancer is actually contagious in that species. Contagious. You know, they have so high inbreeding. They have so high inbreeding that in the list of most inbreeding species in the world, they come second. They come second, and they lose the first spot to Arabs, but that's fine. We can't really compete with Arabs when it comes to I need to format it properly. Well, since it bombed, I'll just recite a joke from George Carlin, who he's one of the goats. Is one of the jokes. He says, "Why does a rancher fuck a sheep at the edge of a cliff?" Why does a rancher fuck a sheep at the edge of a cliff? The punchline is so that the sheep pushes back. Alright, that's it for me. Thank you.
Evan Pinto, thank you very much. Okay.
Is that the full list?
We have Tol. I've never heard your name before. What's your name again?
It's Tulu more.
Tulu. Tulu more. Tulu. Like love.
Yes, sir.
Nice. Mr. Love is here. Come up, Mr. Love.
All right.
Tulu, everyone.
I feel bad if you actually smoke weed tonight. So I have a few different jokes I'm working on right now. So as a kid, me and my brother often fought in the mornings. We often fought during, Saturday morning cartoons. We often fought so much that we actually started a fight club in the neighborhood for kids. And that got pretty rowdy. It was like, we set them up, right? We had this kid in a wheelchair versus a kid with dyslexia. We're like, go at it. Go, And me as a kid with dyslexia, I often lost every fight, man. I was like, fuck. Like, how am I losing? And then people were like, how did you lose? I got hit with 500 pounds of metal. That's what happened. It's just never in my favor, man. Just never in my favor. Growing up, I felt like I never really amounted to shit, and my mom knows that as well. She's like, my son ain't shit, And I guess as I get older, she's like, oh, you know what, he's actually doing something in his life, so Tulu, I'm gonna be, she acted like my manager. She's like, Tulu, I actually want half of what? Like, oh, I just want half of everything you're gonna be making. Okay. She's like, oh, I brought you into this world, so I deserve half, and I can take you out. That's typical for black moms, man. It is automatically, since I was for 31 years of my life, I owed her half. That's how it goes, man. My mom, she's a cool woman, though. She's cool. Even though she didn't allow me to join, fight clubs, or not fight clubs, like kickboxing and all that. She always said it was too violent. But it didn't stop her from beating me up pretty bad to fall into foster care. So she fucked me up. Let's just say that she fucked me up. And there is some misconceptions about foster care sometimes. There are many misconceptions. And one of them is like, oh, you probably don't get love in foster homes and all that. And you do, actually, because they actually care about you. Because my foster parents, they actually pay me to fight other kids in the neighborhood. They didn't pay me. In the Philippines when they have illegal rooster fights, hit him, peck, hit him. Hit him! Peck means pussy, but yeah. So they're telling me that, yeah, that's just what it was. It was legal fights for kids, organized crime. Another thing, people assume, oh, because you're black in the white foster house, oh, you probably get like a lot of social disconnect. For me personally, from my experiences, it's always been like, I always hung out with the skateboarders. I was a skateboarder growing up. I hung out with like the goth kids. I hung out with everyone, the misfits, everyone. It was like my life growing up was like Coachella, a whole year of, not year, but a whole decade of Coachella. But it was the only disconnect was when there was like a Karen in the audience, you know, always fucking shit up, just watching from a distance, you know, those fucking kids, you know, just pissed off, you know, like, you know, where's fucking Daryl for it? Yeah, that's what I have right now. But thank you for hearing their questions.
Tomorrow, just more. Okay, I'll end off with contribute something. I have one of two stories I will tell you. You decide. I have a God story and I have a cop story.
God story.
Okay. So, when was this? Back in 2011, I had anger management issues for a long time, and I called it passion. Yeah. And I was a very difficult person to communicate with because I was such an asshole. You can never win because I was always right. And the people that I like to pick on were police officers. So one day, now this is a story about principle, how principle trumps authority. I was riding my bike in Liberty Village, and as a Torontonian cyclist, I just rode wherever the fuck I wanted to. Sidewalk, grass, through stop signs, traffic lights, and I'm almost home when a white unmarked van starts riding up next to me. The passenger window rolls down, and I see a police officer in full gear say, "Hey, pull over." I'm like, fuck. Pulled over. He comes outside, and he comes up to me and says, "Hey, do you know why we're pulling you over?" I said, "Why, you don't?" And he said, "Whoa, you got a lip on you, buddy. I could throw the book at you." And I said, "Well, you wouldn't be doing your job if you didn't." So he's like, "Whoa, we got a line here, boys." Two other cops come up. And they're all in full gear. Vests, guns, camera. And I'm leaning against my bike, sitting there. And they're all standing in front of me, intimidating me. They go, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" And I look at them, and this is when I go full, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck with you." I'm like, "Who the fuck do you guys think you are?" You know what happened just recently? The G18 summit. Or was it the G20 summit? Where they had the G8 summit. And I said, I was watching the news when I saw a bunch of you fuckers in front of Steve's music store on horses fucking trample over Canadian citizens singing the national anthem. So you answer me, who the fuck am I talking to? And they went, "Oh, I wasn't there, I'm sorry." They back off. And long story short, I walked off with one ticket. The cop said, "Okay, we're just going to give you this ticket, and it was good talking to you." I said, "Yeah, and I'll see you guys in court." That was a really entertaining conversation there. 2 months later, I get a knock at the door, but I wasn't home. My roommates were. And later on, they find me, and they said, "Dexter, what the fuck did you do?" And I said, "What are you talking about?" "There were two cops looking for you." You selling drugs? You dealing with guns? Like, are you in a gang? What the fuck's wrong with you? I said, no, what are you talking about? You know me, I fucking chaperone all the parties. I don't do shit. I don't even drink. And then later on, these cops do find me. They knock on the door. I open it, and they're the most straggly, cool kind of bear huggy cops I've ever seen. They were undercover in leather, long, greasy hair, and subordinate in nature. I've never seen cops so they're like, oh, hi, are you Mr. Eco? I'm like, yeah, why? We'd like to talk to you for a moment about some language that you used about 2 months ago. Do you remember a white van and 3 other cops? I'm like, oh, yes. Feel free, come in. Let's talk this out over some tea. And they go, okay, sure. Came inside and they said, okay, you used some language about being a sovereign person and free from the land. And I said, yeah, you know how your name on your license is all capital letters? That's called Capitis Maximus. That basically signifies that you're a part of the corporation and you don't have any power over me if I declare myself as a natural person. Didn't you know that? They're like, where did you find out this information? I said, oh, it's a secret place called the internet. Like, I just educated myself. Like, okay, next question. Are you starting a cult? And I said, ooh, of course I'm starting a cult. Cult of one. Why would I want to fucking meet anybody with my mental health issues? Like, no. I'm like, okay, well, that's all. We just wanted to ask you. Thank you for your time. I'm like, thank you. Take care. Bye. I took that as flattery. I'm like, great. That was the best conversation. My friends are pissed off saying they're doing intel on you. That's all they're doing. They just want to fuck you up for something else later on. The moral of the story is authority is nothing over principle. If you stand for something and you know the fucking truth about it, no one can fuck with you, not even cops, because they stand for orders. They do what they're told. Simple as that. But if you have to take a piss really bad, and a cop wants to stop you, nature is your first principle. I have to take a piss. I gotta go. I don't want to talk to you guys, or I'll pee on you. And they'll be cool with that. Trust me. It's all in what you stand for. Just don't be standing in your own piss. Okay? Thank you for coming to Center for Talking Arts, everyone. You guys can come back?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a community. It'll take time for you to grow. We want to see you grow. We also have video of you guys. So I know Tulu, you're filming yourself. You'll get higher quality footage.
Good.
Yeah, it's higher quality footage of that we will send you, all of you. Evan, you'll get yours too. And Cole, we didn't get yours, Jackie. But you did get you saw your parrot skit, right? Bit. It wasn't even a bit. You were just talking.
Just straight up real.
It was real. Oh, that was like beyond bits. You're just being yourself. Real. Okay. Yeah, you'll get them by Monday on Instagram. Message you guys.
Yep.
Okay? Jake, can you come up and say the last words?
Yeah, just straight around. It's all good. Thanks, everyone. It's great.
Yeah. Till next time.